we share, with a dash of this and a pinch of that, mixed all up with care. The best company and conversation, recipes and new creations. We're cooking up something good here at home. We are cooking up something good here at home.
Well, hello, family. We are so glad that you joined us today. And you know what? I just had these specially sent in. They arrived even as the theme was playing. Zucchini time, yeah. How many of you had left on your front porch during this whole summer season? Because you know what? These babies love to grow. And you know, they're so good for you. They're so healthy. They're delicious. There's so many wonderful ways that you can prepare them and things that you can make with them. You can make zucchini chocolate cake. You can make cupcakes. You can make muffins. And today, the whole program, all the recipes are going to have zucchini in them. And I think we have a nice variety. I think you're going to enjoy them. You know, this time of the year when we talk about harvest, you know, harvesting the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the cabbage and the peppers and zucchini and all the stuff that comes out of the garden, the onions, and then we get into like the fall foods. Oh my goodness, what a bountiful harvest we appreciate in this country. I tell you, we are blessed. And you know, God's blessing is on the labor of our hands. When we plant, when that farmer goes out and he works hard to prepare the fields and to get them ripe, so that when he plants, the ground receives the seed and then it brings forth, and then we harvest and we enjoy, we eat. You know, that's all the process of God. That's what God's hand has done. And that's how he created the heavens and the earth, to produce. Same thing with your life and my life. To produce something good. I wonder if we look back, what did we produce in the last few months? Some even dropped out of going to church because it was summertime. Hey, we're having a vacation. You vacation from God? I hope not. I hope you didn't, because you never take a vacation from God. You never do. You don't take a vacation from your family. You might take a vacation, but not for 3 months. But anyway, today we're talking harvest, and I just wanted to throw that out for something to think about. You know, God's caused us to have a harvest, but we need a harvest in our lives too. Doing that which is good for the other person, for someone else. That's a harvest. So we're going to get started in just a minute. Laura Cominisi's with me today in the kitchen, and she's cooking up a storm right along beside me. And when we come back from the hint, we'll get started with zucchini, zucchini, zucchini. We'll see you in just a minute. Here's today's at-home hint. Zucchini freezes very well. Just grate the zucchini and place 2 cups into a quart-sized freezer Ziploc bag. Burp the bag to release the air and lay flat in the freezer. To use, thaw, drain, and use as you would fresh zucchini. If you've got a helpful hint, we want to hear it from you. Send your hint to At Home Hints, Cornerstone Television, Wall, Pennsylvania, 15148-1499. Well, congratulations, Laura. We're glad you're to do zucchini with us.
Zucchini kind of a day.
You like it?
It is. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we love it.
Yeah.
I love zucchini Parmesan. I love any kind of zucchini. That's really good for you, isn't it?
It is. It is. And it's just a vegetable that confuses people, I think. They don't know what to do with it.
You're right.
Because it's too wet.
And it's versatile because you can use it for desserts or vegetables or snacks, whatever. Now, what are you going to make?
I'm making crab cakes. And it's so easy. We called it earlier the dump. You just put everything in, and it really is. Now, I'm using 5 cups here of zucchini, and you just put it in a food processor, or you can grate it by hand.
Now, this is double what you're going to get when you write for the recipe, though, because we got crew here. You know, if we just made a single batch.
Yeah, and you just you beat up some eggs, you put that in with the zucchini, a little bit of butter, and you just mix it really good. Some chopped onions, that'll give it some
finely minced onions is really important, because you don't want big chunks of onion in that.
And it'll give it a nice little sweet flavor.
Now, these are called crab cakes, but there's no crab in them.
No.
So how do you get the flavor of crabs?
Well, from the Old Bay.
Old Bay seasoning. Oh, my. I tell you, when you go to like resort areas like close to the ocean, like Ocean City, Maryland, every restaurant you go into, that's all you smell.
That's
because everybody's boiling their shrimp or boiling the crab legs or something with
sorry.
that Old Bay. But
And that's all that they use.
Yep.
That really is. And then the breadcrumbs, that kind of just binds it together and holds it together.
well, the eggs will too.
Yeah.
That'll hold them. So you're just going to make crab cakes and you're going to fry
That's all.
them.
And just fry them in a little
dip
bit of
them?
oil. I just coat them a little bit.
That'll brown them up for
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
and help hold it together to the flour. And that's
Oh,
all. Make little patties.
Yum.
Yeah. And
That's wonderful.
You're doing
I'm going to do the
bread.
blueberry. It's zucchini blueberry bread. Oh my goodness. This is so simple too. This is like throw everything in the pan or the bowl, mix it up, and you got it. I have 3 eggs in here. Now I'm going to do my cup of oil. There's no butter, but there's oil. That's what will make it a moist bread, okay? And some vinegar, I almost said, some vanilla, all right? And some sugar. Now this is going to make 2 large loaves of zucchini bread. And then you're just going to take the mixer and we're going to mix that well. Won't take long, just takes a few minutes. I have some shredded zucchini again. Now one thing I want to tell you, if your zucchini is old, it'll be very watery because that inside middle where the seeds are, that starts to turn, get softer and softer. So you don't, if you get zucchinis that don't render much juice, that's good, because that means they're young and tender. But the old ones are okay too. We don't want to discard them, they're good. You want to make sure that the oil is incorporated well with the sugar and the other ingredients. Okay? How are we doing over there, lady?
We're doing good, and you know what?
Started.
Yeah, but I did think about something I would like to tell the viewers. When you're doing the zucchini, it does have a tendency to be a wet vegetable. So when the food processor, it may be a little wet, so you might have to either squeeze it with your hand or paper towel. It just
Or
gets
even
some
put
of
it
that
in a
moisture.
colander and let it soak out a little bit.
Because you don't want it too wet. Otherwise, it really
Yeah,
won't bind.
No, they'll break apart like what she's doing. Okay, and I'm adding some baking soda, baking powder, and cinnamon. Just a little bit
Okay, get
of
that
each.
heat up.
Okay, and see, I have my do a little maintenance here, clean up. And then I'm going to take a fork, mix that up with my flour. You want that to be evenly distributed. Good way to do is with a whisk or a fork, like that. Now, I'm going to pour most of this in here, but not all. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Let me incorporate. I also want to add my zucchini at the same time. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It's amazing, you know, you think that's a vegetable, but what's it going to do in a bread, a sweet bread? Honestly, when it cooks up, you don't even know it's in there, do you? You don't even know it's in there when it cooks up. I mean, you don't see green, you don't see, and we don't ever peel ours. We just wash them, make sure they're good and washed nice and clean.
Yeah,
But
you did say that. I had asked you.
yeah.
And you
So
kept
we
the
never-
skin on.
Yeah, we don't peel them because that green is good for you. A lot of good stuff in there.
I think
Okay.
it looks pretty, the green, the dark green.
Yeah, I think so,
and it
too.
gives it a heavier texture.
Absolutely. Now, we have our pint of blueberries. Remember I said we don't use all of that flour? Well, I'm going to add the blueberries to the flour because, did you ever get a loaf of bread that had a fruit in it and all the fruit settled at the bottom of the bread and the top is all plain and all the fruit's at the bottom? It's because this berry is heavier than the batter, so it automatically falls to the bottom of the pan. Whereas if you cover them with flour,
That's
isn't that a
nice
great
idea.
And you know what? Then the flour makes it stick into the batter, so you get it distributed pretty evenly. It's pretty amazing how that works.
Never thought
And
of
I'm not
that.
going to use the mixer when I incorporate this because I don't want those blueberries to be all mashed together. I don't want pieces. I want some nice berries in there. So when I put this in, just going to throw them all in there, and then I'm going to just mix this with my nice,
By hand.
yeah,
Now, that flour coating, that would work on a lot of things, wouldn't it?
nuts,
Yeah, that would
any
work.
kind of fruit. Oh, absolutely.
I never thought of that.
Because you just want to fold the berries in. because you don't want them to break down. See, if you put the mixer in that, they'd get all mashed and you get little tiny pieces, whereas these stay nice and whole.
I see that, yeah.
Yeah, these stay nice and whole. How are you coming? Are they
Pretty
coming along?
good. Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
You just want to brown them slightly on each side. That's
Yeah.
all.
And that's gonna make good many, huh?
Yeah, well, we did make a double batch.
Yeah,
It's
well.
a little sticky.
It's all right.
I know.
That's what you got to do sometime to get
sloppy.
the goodies. Now, we have 2 loaf pans. We've lightly sprayed them with the butter flavored spray. Don't use the garlic. It's no good. And we're going to put this in 350-degree oven. And these are going to bake, the big ones, which are these. They're going to bake for 80 minutes. And then if you wanted to make the small mini loaves, this would make 4 small mini loaves. And they only bake about 50 or 60 minutes. So she's going to keep frying. Oh, look how nice and
Yeah,
golden
they're
brown
coming
they
out.
turned out.
See, a
Beautiful.
little bit of brown right here. That's all you want.
That's all you,
Yeah,
that's all
because
you
everything
want.
is really, nothing really needs cooked.
No, no, no. And if you cook it too much, then they get hard and
real
they're not
dry
good.
too.
But she's going to keep doing that. I'm going to get these in the oven. We come back, more zucchini recipes just for you. We'll be right back in just a minute. Welcome back to our zucchini program. Laura Comanisi is with me today. Laura, we've got all those incredible crab zucchini cakes. What are they called? No, zucchini crab cakes.
Crab cakes.
And they're in the oven. We're holding them on 200 degrees. They are amazing. We're going to make a special sauce to go with them, like a tartar sauce. Oh, I'm telling you, you can't believe that there's not crab in there because of that seasoning.
And we did taste them. They're very good.
Yeah. And the bread's baking, the blueberry zucchini bread with, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And then she's going to make a zucchini and tomato pasta.
Right.
Now, this is a quick pasta, huh?
Very quick. And I mean, your cooking is literally 2 to 3 minutes max.
Total,
That's
yeah,
it, total.
yeah.
We prepared the gnocchis ahead of time, but I guess you could do it with anything. If you don't want gnocchis, you could do spaghettis or rigatoni.
Any other kind of
anything,
pasta.
anything.
Okay, go ahead, get started.
Yeah. I have butter. I melted some butter. But what is good with butter is let it brown. It turns into a nutty flavor.
Yeah, it adds a lot of flavor
And it
to it.
does, but you have to get it brown. And I just cut up 2 shallots, thank you.
Yeah.
And you brown that, and you just add your zucchini. Now, this is what I wanted to show you about
Yeah,
the
show that.
zucchini. Look how pretty. And you know how we got this? It wasn't that hard. What we did was we just took a regular peeler vegetable, and you have to add pressure.
Yeah.
But see how nice that came out?
Yep.
Look. And then as you go, it will get thicker because your zucchini
Gets wider,
is
yeah.
wider. So
How easy that is, and it cooks up so quick. You don't have to.
That's it.
I mean, zucchini cooks quick anyway. But
Anyway.
when you put it in those, they're like slivers, I guess you'd call them. I don't
Yeah.
know what else to call them. Fine. If you have a mandolin, you could do it with a mandolin too. But we don't have a mandolin.
No.
But look, there's how many
That's it.
zucchini was that?
that was 3 medium.
3 medium little
And they
zucchinis.
they were nice size, but it looks like a lot, but it
They cook
will
down,
cook
too.
down.
Yeah, they cook
it'll
down.
cook down. And you just cook this for 2 to 3 minutes
Over medium heat.
over medium heat.
Okay.
And while that's cooking, we have here a pint of cherry tomatoes that we halved. We cleaned
Cut
them
them in
and
half,
halved them. And after this cooks 2 to 3 minutes, put these in. Do not overcook the tomatoes. Just again,
Wait till they're ready to start to pop.
yeah,
That's when
again,
you know.
another 2 minutes and that's it. And then just add your salt and pepper to taste. And a little strange ingredient is the nutmeg.
Yeah, that's something that
Mm-hmm.
adds a different flavor. And some people like it, some don't. But you know what? Just taste it and see if you like it. You can always make it another time if you don't.
Yeah.
And then what's the cheese up there? And
The
what's
cheese and the parsley.
Parsley. That's gonna add
After.
freshness.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but after, because you don't, of course, want to cook the Parmesan. You don't want to
No.
cook the parsley. You'll get the flavor if it's
I think a
added
lot of times
raw.
people make a mistake with the pasta by putting the Parmesan in when it's still cooking. And you know what? It's like destroys it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Doesn't
does.
make it
It
good.
does.
Doesn't make it good.
But we'll let that cook a
Okay,
little bit.
so she's doing the pasta. I'm doing, now one of my favorite appetizers when we go out to eat to a restaurant, I love the appetizer of zucchini planks, zucchini strips, fried zucchini, they call them everything. Well, we're making them today, and I'm going to show you how to do it at home, and it's going to be so incredibly delicious. We have taken just the zucchini, the same zucchini as this. We cut it in half and then cut it in planks, like a French fry kind of a plank, just like this. Now, we've added a little bit of salt on that to make the moisture come out because we want these to adhere to the flour, because that's the first thing you're going to dip this in is some flour. And you want to make sure it covers the whole way around. And then you shake off the excess, because now it's going into an egg and milk bath. We have egg and milk right here, and you want to make sure that it all gets covered, because we're not done yet. We still have to put some more batter on there. Okay, so now we take it out of the egg and milk, and it goes into Italian breadcrumb batter. Oh boy. Now, just put that all over that. Turn it around a little bit. Make sure it covers. Push in on that. Make sure it's all covered well. Then you take it out and you set it on a platter. Now, my grandmother could make the best veal cutlet in the world. I told this to Laura. Because what she would do, my mama would try to duplicate it, but my mother's breading would always fall off. Grandma told her, when you do the breading, any kind of a breading like this chicken or whatever, once you've covered it and you've got to this point, don't hurry up and put it in the fry pan. Let it sit in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Because what happens, the coldness will grab on to that flour that's next to the product, whatever, if it's meat or if it's a vegetable, and then it gets sticky because the egg makes it sticky. So the flour sticks to this, and then that gets sticky against that, and then that holds the breadcrumb. And then when you fry it, the coldness of it keeps it to a temperature where it will accept the crispiness on the outside and cook it, and you don't lose the batter.
You know, that has to be
Doesn't
the
that make
best
sense?
tip,
I'm
honest,
telling
I've
you.
ever heard of. Because
my grandmother was
yeah.
so smart, doggone her.
Anytime we fry something, that's the complaint.
The breading,
breading
yeah, and you
comes
want
off.
the breading because
Yeah.
you like everybody likes
Yeah.
the breading.
Arlene, I just wanted to show the viewers
Oh, yeah,
this.
look at
See
that. Show
how,
Larry.
how that
That's the way
cooked
it's
up
gonna be.
really nice. 2 minutes. Now we're going to add the tomatoes. Just stir the tomatoes in. Again, you don't want to cook too much,
No,
but a
you
good
don't.
2 minutes. And we're going to add a little bit of the nutmeg. Stir
Good.
that, salt
Look at the
and
color on
pepper.
that.
Yeah, the color's pretty. And then I'll tell you what else I did. The few strips that I did, I kept them. I didn't toss it because I wanted the dark green
Absolutely.
in here when it's
Oh, yeah.
done. It'll look pretty.
Oh, the color on that is just beautiful. Now, when do you drop the gnocchis in there?
When it's done.
When it's done. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
you have
when
to wait
it's
till it's
done.
completely done.
Yeah, give it a few minutes.
Couple
That's all on the
minutes, yeah.
tomatoes. And then I'll put the parsley and the cheese in. And
Cool. Yeah, you want to take those? I know I said
Yeah.
we should hold off and wait, but go ahead. You got some grease
Yeah.
over there? Some
yes,
oil?
I
Let's
do.
try it,
You want me
okay?
to put them in?
Sure, take those 3.
There we go.
And we're just going to do those in oil because this makes a lot.
Excuse me.
That's all right. But you know what? When you got a group of people coming over, maybe you're going to play cards or play games or whatever, and you just want something that's kind of healthy. I mean, you're using a vegetable.
Okay. All right.
And, you know, the healthiness
Put the gnocchis in.
when it comes to deep frying is to make sure that your grease is hot so that it doesn't soak into whatever you're frying. If that grease is hot, it'll crisp it up and cook it quickly. It'll be over with, and boom, you're done.
Arlene, here we go. I just added the
Beautiful.
gnocchis in. You want
Don't they look lovely? Okay,
Can
show
you smell that?
Larry. Let Larry see it.
Okay.
So the viewer can see it at
yeah,
home.
were added in, and I can just let that cook a little bit just to get some flavoring. Okay.
And
And
what's
then the
going on with the
Parmesan,
strips back there? They look like
They're
they're getting
deep
brown.
frying.
Yeah,
And
great.
the parsley, and look at the colors.
Beautiful.
And really, the dish is done. You
That's
can turn
it.
the heat.
That is
That's
it. What a way to use up a lot of your bounty that you're getting out of your
That's
garden
done.
right now. Perfect. You know what? We're going to come back. We're going to cook up all the strips. She's going to finish
Here's
that.
the strips.
And also, we're going to get the breads out of the oven. When we come back, you'll see everything we made on our zucchini show today. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our zucchini show today because we've really enjoyed putting it together. And as you can see, we have some really wonderful dishes all made with zucchini. We're going to start up here. This is our zucchini blueberry bread. Look at these babies, just came out of the oven. They're still hot. Now, I have to tell you that we put a crumb topping because we decided we thought we wanted to do that, but we've had it without that topping. This is just flour, brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon and some butter, and crumble it together and just put it on top and let it bake. Awesome, because it gives an extra little crunch, but you don't need it. It's not on the recipe, but you can do that. Next to it, we have our zucchini crab cakes. Oh, They are so good. That Old Bay makes you feel like you're eating crab. And I told you I was going to make a nice little tartar sauce to go with that. That's got a little red sriracha in there to give that some perk. When you go to bite into that, you're going to love it. This is the pasta made with zucchini, the ribbons of zucchini, and there's wonderful cherry tomatoes. I'm telling you, and then we did it with gnocchi. This is incredible taste, easy to do. 10 minutes, that's ready to roll. I'm telling you, it's that simple and that quick and easy. And next to that, we have our fried zucchini planks or strips, sticks, whatever you want to call them. And the way I like to eat them is to put a few on my dish, and then I take fresh lemon like this and squeeze it all over the top of it, and then Romano cheese, and you just sprinkle that over top. That's an awesome way. Or there's ranch dressing also. Any and all of these are easy to make. They're economical, doesn't cost a ton of money to make them, and they're so delicious, and they're just different. So don't be intimidated by, oh boy, okay, here we go. What are we doing with this zucchini? I've given you 4 unusual, different ways to make it, and I'm telling you, your family is going to enjoy it, and so are you. I hope you've enjoyed today's program. I hope you'll go to church this Sunday, because you know what? It'll really make the pastor happy, it would make the Lord really happy, and your week will go a whole lot better. So be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you here at home. We'll see you then.
Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.